Alrighty, so we are doing extrusive igneous rocks. So what are extrusive igneous rocks? So a good way to remember this is extrusive exit. So these extrusive igneous rocks are formed when volcanoes erupt and the lava cools and becomes solid, forming these rocks. So just think exit, extrusive. So some examples of these rocks, you can think back to our Unit 4 lab and what rocks you said were extrusive after you did all the activities, and so below is a picture that has examples of these rocks. So obsidian, andesite, pumice, rhyolite, basalt, and scoria are all examples of these extrusive rocks. So these rocks have different types of textures. So the types of textures are Aphanitic, Glassy, Pyroclastic, and Vascular. So we're going to go into more detail on the next few slides. So Aphanitic. So this texture is very fine grained. It has individual crystals that can only be seen with a microscope, so you can't see them without a microscope. And so this texture is formed when magma or lava, whatever you want to call it, cools too quickly, so that the crystals are not bigger, they're smaller, they're teeny tiny. So an example of a rock from our lab would be basalt, is an example of a aphanitic textured rock. And in this picture right here, you can see how this rock looks without a microscope, but then they went in with a microscope and you can see the different crystals inside that you couldn't see without a microscope. So the next texture is glassy. This texture is pretty self-explanatory. When you think of glass, you think smooth, shiny. The rock won't necessarily be see-through like glass, but it will look and feel like glass. And so one of the rocks that I had in Unit 4 was obsidian, and it was kind of like this black color right here, was a glassy textured extrusive rock. So next texture is pyroclastic. So pyroclastic rock is kind of like a aphanitic rock, but instead of not being able to see the mixtures of rock fragments, you can in the pyroclastic, they can be seen with a naked eye. Something that cannot be seen with a naked eye would be the volcanic ash, which is included in the pyroclastic textured rocks because it is very fine grained. But an example of pyroclastic rock that we had in our Unit 4 lab would be the pumice. And many people may think of pumice as like a pumice stone that you use at like a nail salon, so you can make that connection with the pyroclastic texture. Alright, so the last texture is kind of like the glassy texture. It's pretty self-explanatory, so it's vascular, and when you think of vascular, you may think of vessels like holes. So it's easy to recognize. The vascular texture rocks have holes, which are called vessels. They haven't just been eroded. Those vessels are formed by gas bubbles in the lava whenever the volcano erupted. So an example of vascular textured rock that we had in our Unit 4 lab would be scoria. Alrighty, so just to recap, let's go back and we have 4 textures: aphanitic, glassy, pyroclastic, and vascular. And also extrusive igneous rocks, extrusive exit rocks that are made from volcano erupting. So yeah, have a great day. Thank you very much.